Our pilot aims at developing household economic activities in rural areas. We invite families to take part in this. We give a little stimulus to those families, a financial one, a few €100. They can choose equipment that they would like to have for their activities, and they imagine what they would like to do. It can produce a kind of income, not necessarily money, but it can produce, for instance, food for these families. We asked local leaders and also other stakeholders to come to these workshops where we discussed how this kind of new service could be developed to trigger household economic activities. In these workshops, we used various tools. For instance, we used videos like this, recorded with users, these user voice videos to show how the participants think about the project and how they speak about their results. We also used the Living Lab methodology in order to be able to imagine how complex this development process can be, how many actors can be drawn on these big diagrams, and we used various tools to help participants to dismantle from present problems and present constraints. For instance, we used backcasting for imagining future scenarios where local economies are how local economies are functioning in the future. Our previous projects, the mayors or those who wrote the calls decided what kind of activities certain communities should have or should do, and they applied for it or not. In this case, it was already a big innovation and a big change that the mayors were invited to take part, how the pilot should be organized, and the participants were invited to imagine how it should happen on local level. And this was a big step, and it took time that the leaders, the local leaders, understand and why it is important and start to believe in the methodology. And it also took time for the participants in those communities to get used to this kind of working habit, because top-down paternalistic solutions and structures can be very strong and very difficult to change. When people felt that they have a voice in having these decisions and they can take part in the creation process and the development process indeed, and being not only subject to this, to them, they started to use their own resources, their own imagination. It was a great surprise for us that the local community leaders were so enthusiastic that now they can plan something and not only execute what is written down by the ministry and in the calls, that they also put sometimes more resources into the project than we did.